Hi, welcome to Breakfast at Tiffany's. It is Friday, April 18th, right? Yeah, April 18th. You're getting the more rustic me today. No wig, just my garden hat. My main hat is my main hat for gardening. My main hat. You know what I mean. And I got my Don't Ruffle My Feathers shirt on. It's supposed to get to 80 degrees today, according to Lori's weather report. So I want to get out there and get started in the garden sooner rather than later, because I don't want to be out there in my Tyvek hazmat suit to not get poison ivy in the 80-degree weather, because I will die. I will literally faint over and die because it's a sweatsuit. I mean, talk about losing weight when you're gardening. I've always said gardening is the best exercise, and it really is when you have a Tyvek suit on when you're out there doing it. But anyway, I want to tell you a little story. I want to share a little story about what's going on in my life. We have been without a clothes dryer for at least a month. I can't even remember exactly when my son told me that the dryer wasn't working, and I went up there and he was right, it was not working. And we have a home warranty thing that we do. It's called American Home Shield or something, and we pay $96.99 a month for this service. But when something breaks in the house, we can call them, and we only have to pay a $125 deductible. And they will fix it or replace it, and for free. And we've had this for many years. And even in our old house, and like I remember in our old house, we had to have them come like 15 times before they would finally just call our dishwasher done and get us a new one. But all for that $125 deductible. So, it's up to them. But it was just a matter of getting on the schedule. But since we've been here, we have replaced the refrigerator this way. And now we have, and it's very, I noticed that lately they're more inclined to just tell us that it has to be replaced than to keep coming back with parts and stuff. Now, they have done that. They have said, oh, well, I have to order parts, I'll be back, blah, blah, all that stuff. But anyway, we called and we got an appointment for the dryer for several weeks ago. This was like the end of March. And they came and looked at it, and they said that it's so old, they don't make the part for it anymore, and we have to get a new one. So it's a gas dryer. Don't ask me why it came with the house. I would not have chosen that, but that's what it is. So they gave us a list of all the replacements that we could choose from. But everything that they gave us was too big for the space, because the people that lived here before moved the washer and dryer from the basement up to the second level, the bedroom level. And they built this, box to put them in, with a big top that it's in my husband's office, and he uses the top as like a work surface. So it has to be able to fit in this thing, and all the dryers were too big. So they also said that if we couldn't find anything we liked, they would give us $787 to just go buy one for ourselves at Lowe's. They said it was going to be a Lowe's gift card. So I looked on Lowe's and I found our exact dryer, just the more updated model. But our exact dryer, same dimensions and everything, I found on Lowe's for $737 or something like that. It was a little bit less than what they were giving us. So we said, well, we'll do that. So they gave us the cash. And it wasn't a gift card. They just put cash in our bank account after a few days. So we could have actually bought it anywhere. Anyway, we go there to Lowe's, we order it. We schedule for delivery. We bought pickup, which was an extra $50, but they don't install because Lowe's will not touch anything that's gas related. So they said you have to call the gas company. So we did that. We scheduled the delivery, and then we called the gas company, and Columbia Gas no longer does that service. like will, turn off the gas and remove the old, gas dryer and then put the new one in place and turn it on. They won't do that. So Lowe's came, dropped off the new one, which is sitting outside next to the old one, but nothing works. And we've had that for weeks. And then we were supposed to get the gas. Andrew was calling all around all these different gas places, finally found this Shawley's gas. But they said, well, you a current customer of ours? And I'm like, no, but we need service. And she said, well, we only usually work for customers. And I said, well, no one's doing this service. So like, I'll pay you to come do this. So anyway, that's $150 extra. So they were supposed to come last Friday, but last Friday we had to cancel because we had to go to a funeral. And my son would have been home, but we have been hesitant to trust him with things like this, to like handle the person, wait for the person and handle that. But I went and talked to my son before we canceled, and I said, look, we have to go to this funeral. Can you handle this? Because he wants the dryer just as bad as we do, because he hates going to the laundromat to dry his clothes. So anyway, he said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. No problem, no fight, no nothing. So I called my husband and I said, look, Tyler says he'll do it. Just leave it. And she goes, oh my God, I just rescheduled. So he had scheduled it for Monday, this past Monday. So Monday I'm sitting here waiting around, and then all of a sudden I get this call from my husband and says they just canceled, they're coming this Friday, which is today. And he just called me like 15 minutes ago and said they'd be here in 30 minutes. So I have to talk fast because they're going to be here and I have to be off this by the time they get here. Hopefully they'll be here and hopefully they will do it. But then we have to call Lowe's to come back to pick up the old one and dispose of it because we paid that for them to do that. What a nightmare this has been. And I'm only hoping that I have a dryer this weekend because no towels have been washed in my house for a month because I don't like air dried towels. Like for weeks we were just hanging our clothes, Andrew and I, my husband, we're just hanging our clothes to dry. But my son doesn't like the crispness of the clothes that way, so he was taking them to the laundromat. But the last weekend, my husband actually went and dried the stuff in the dryer. But we haven't done towels. And all I want to do today after they hook up the thing is put a bunch of towels in the washer and dryer and, wash them. Anyway, life's crazy. And I thought there was going to be a screw up today, like, because I had an appointment scheduled today for 11. I had a meeting I was going to be out of the house for. And Andrew made this appointment for the morning, and it was said they'd be here between 8 and 11:30. And I said, but I have an appointment. But luckily, my appointment got canceled. So, anyway, that's what's going on with me. I have I have a small consignment, like literally just what's in this bag that was dropped off to me. So, I don't know what's in here, but let's go through it. This is very nice. A little out of season, but Style & Company large black and white cardigan with a belt. You know what? That looks like it might fit me. I like it. This all sweaters? My goodness. Oh, this is a skirt. It's a skirt. Just Fab extra large sweater skirt. Oh no, they're pants. They're pants, but they're like sweater. It's like stretchy, but it's like sweater material. Well, very thick sweater material, but they're extra large. This looks like the same thing. Yep, the same thing, just in burgundy. These are DKNY jeans, Soho skinny, size 8. We've got a LuLaRoe Randy top, extra small. And 9 West jeans, cigarette fit skinny leg, 10, size 10. But they're not denim. They're actually more like they're more like jeggings. They're more legging material, but they're thick. Like they're kind of thick, like for winter. Anyway, that's all that was in that bag. So that's all I got for you today. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and don't forget our big clearance, home clearance sale is next Friday, and it's at 4 o'clock. And I know a lot of people can't watch on Friday at 4 o'clock, but you can always shop the replay. But spread the word, because it's going to be good deals. Everything under $10. So, also, you've heard me talk about this before, but if you are in local, get yourself to Yesterday's Lane in Funkstown, Maryland. They are going out of business. I love that store. I've talked about them before. You know I love them. They're going out of business. So today from 12 to 5, tomorrow from 12 to 5, they're open. And then next Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 12 to 5, I believe. And then that's it. And they just restocked with a bunch of new inventory. Actually opened up their garage, which had been storage area, to a retail space. So you can go in there and shop in there too. There's a lot of stuff. It all has to go, including the front fixtures. So get yourself over to Yesterday's Lane in Funkstown. I want to say the address is 106 East Baltimore Street, but I might be wrong on the number. But I know it's East Baltimore Street, Funkstown, Maryland. It's really not far from Hagerstown. You can get there in like 6 minutes. I get there in like 10 from my house, but I'm a little further away. It's worth it. Trust me. She's got great deals going on, and everything's got to go. So, do that. Do yourself a favor and do that, and I will see you soon.